Hey everyone, No here. So I was streaming on Twitch, and a few days back, Tectone made a video about Yae Miko, so I want to give my thoughts about it and on stream. So here you guys go. I'm gonna be watching Tectone talking about Yae Miko because I agree. I think I'm gonna agree on this. Most of his takes, I agree on majority of his takes. I think I haven't really found anything I disagree on his takes. So, and since he made a video on my main, I gotta talk about it. We gotta review this, guys. We gotta have this discussion. We got. Oh, let me.
I don't know where the end is this video, but there's a lot of controversy for Yae Miko, and I'm not gonna lie, I am gonna have Hoyo versus back a little bit for this video because I do think what the community is asking for is very unreasonable, and asking for preferential treatment, which I just feel like is just not good in a game. But I do think there is a lot of issues left with Yae Miko that needs to be fixed, and right now, Genshin Impact is, or Hoyoverse is listening to player feedback, which is, I mean, dear God, the first time in what, years? So I feel like it's important that if there is
I agree. First time, gotta agree.
There's a chance that they are still changing Yae Miko, and they are, because the rollback isn't happening until the 6th. Maybe they'll slap something else onto this character and fix this character that could be great, but just has a couple things just not right with her whatsoever that we can fix very easily. So let me talk about what the main issue is with Yae Miko for anybody who's
what's the main issue
of what's
the main issue, Techie?
Hoyoverse rolled out a new update where they kind of changed their priority to enemies first and then structures, which people aren't really noticing right now, but I just tested it for about an hour and it seemed to always target enemies over structures. So I don't know why people are saying that she doesn't, because the targeting now seems good for enemies. But what they also did is that they made her target enemies that are closest to the totems.
Yep.
Now that would sound fine, but then when you take into account that her constellation C2 actually increases her range by 60%.
So then there's no point.
Kind of nullifies the benefit of having the extra range to hit those random targets and be a random electro applicator and just become a raw target, like hit one thing until it dies. In case you don't get why that's an issue, if all of the totems target the same thing, where they're just like the closest enemy, you're going to continue zapping one enemy over and over and over again.
He's basically going to say it's not going to target anything that's outside, or I guess inside the 60 meter or the C2 range per se, because any enemy that is closer to the totems is always going to hit the enemies that is closer in the totem. But I really want to talk about like the other part of the C2 as well. I hate the fact that it's locked behind you having to get 2 copies of her in order to get your totems from level, instead of once you place down your totems, right, it becomes a level 1, and then you go from level 1 to level 2, then level 3. But with C2, instead of you starting at level 1 for your totem, you start at 2. You also gain an increased level, which is level 4. Okay, why does the game have it set up to where we can see the levels, but we have to get the constellations in order to see the difference or to see the damage output because of it? I don't know, man. I feel like C2 was kind of wonky, in all honesty. I mean, why did you have to gate it to be a C? I mean, not a C, but a constellation, really? But that's like my take on it. I think they shouldn't have to gate it like that. But you know, me hell yo.
You can only get the electro application one time, okay? So after the first application happens, all Yae Miko becomes is a raw damage dealer. The reason why that's a problem is because if Yae Miko had her old targeting where it just wouldn't target structures and it would just target enemies randomly, she actually had a second use, which was a raw damage dealer once everything had electro applied. And that is exactly the huge benefit that she had, which is applying electro to random enemies to give characters like Venti and Kazuha an easier time of swirling them together, causing the swirl reaction because more things had an additional element applied, which is pretty much the entire idea of the game, which is to intermingle with different elements and cause big reactions. Okay, it's very simple. Okay, so it would ruin the C2 and it would also remove her viability as a random element applicator and just made her a raw damage dealer. Okay, Those are the big issues that people are talking about right now.
Yeah, I agree on those. Like, I do feel as though they need to just fix something or do something about that, because I miss the old version of how she was. I still don't understand why, with this new version, they took away the fact that you can't target enemies that are above you. That is so ridiculous. Like, her whole stick, okay, Yae Miko's whole stick is a burst DPS, okay, or a quick swap, or whatever you want to call her. But her element skill is literally fischl. It's literally fischl, but different. That's all it is. It's Oz, but plays two more, and that's it. That's literally it. So like, why in their right mind did they think it was a good idea? Okay, so we are gonna fix the targeting for you guys, but we're gonna take away the fact that you remember how she was able to attack enemies above. Yeah, we're gonna just take that away from you guys. Why? What was the point of that?
Now I will say, good job, Hoyoverse, on actually fixing her priority system, because now
I give him that. I give it that.
Before targeting structures, before targeting random butterflies. I tested this in Dvalin 3 times. Every single lightning bolt hit Dvalin. I mean, maybe I got a 1 in a million odds, but it appears that the enemy targeting has much better AI now, which is great. Now, here's the thing that people want to talk about, which is, well, her AI isn't really smart because she can still target electro units and still target shield units, and she doesn't do anything when they hit those units. So I feel like she should only target enemies that do take damage, and that's just not fair. And the reason why that's not fair is because Genshin Impact is supposed to be a team builder game, okay? There are so many enemies in this game that can literally not affect, like Klee can't affect pyro units, right? Klee can't affect pyro units. Sword users can barely affect shields. Asking her to have perfect AI is pretty much just asking the game to play itself. Like with Klee, if she's not good at...
I agree on that. I see where his point is going. He's basically just explaining there's no point in having the game play for you. That's really it. Okay, if you're going to play Klee and you're going against a fire slime, okay, your bombs or your element skills should not like do a whole 360 backflip over them to see like, oh, there is a water slime or electro slime. Like, no, it's gonna move forward to whatever you throw it at. So I get what he's saying. I think anyone who's whining like that, I think that's stupid in my opinion. I don't believe why we should even say anything or go for something like that. That's
area. If there are going to be errors with her AI kit, you know what you should do? Use a different fucking character. The same thing with Ganyu. What, do we want Ganyu's icicle to only target the enemies that it has the most benefit towards? No, you would just use a different character. Sure, I would love that if every attack that was RNG did work perfectly, but that's not a Yae Miko issue. That's a Genshin Impact issue. And sure, I would love for that to be re-rolled, maybe in like 3.0 when Subaru comes out, where, hey, we're taking our AI and we're making it not shit. Okay? damages that have random targeting will only target things where it actually works. Sure, I would love that, but to label that as a Yae Miko issue is kind of a stretch, and to also have that only fixed for Yae Miko is ridiculous.
And I'm just gonna be real, like, luckily I have not ran into anyone who has said something like this, but like, they're not acknowledging the problem that Ningguang has. They're not acknowledging the fact that what Yangfei has. Like, majority of all the Catalysts have this issue. Okay? And not just that, we still not talking about how the ults are not tracking. Well, they track, but sometimes you don't want them to attract certain enemies or go towards certain things. Like, hello, we shouldn't be only looking at this as like a Yae Miko issue. And yeah, they just need to fix that. Like, eventually, like you said, maybe 3 point. But no, lay honesty, I mean, it's not just a Yae Miko issue. It's a lot of characters that have AI capabilities in it, like fischl and all those other characters, and a lot of Catalyst also. So don't only look at Yae Miko as the issue here.
It should be fixed for all characters, not just her, okay? So now let's talk about the other issues that Yae Miko has, which, by the way, is a fucking lot. So here's the big issue. I'm pretty sure everybody would agree that Yae Miko's main role is to be a off-the-field support, where you tap E, tap E, tap E, and then you zap shit, and then you drop your ult.
Burst DPS. Get the fuck off afterwards.
But here's the problem with the ult. Why the fuck does it remove the totems? Her setup is so long, and I don't understand why, because there's another character in this game called Zhao with the exact same premise of her abilities, and you just tap, 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 and it's done instantly. Yae Miko's takes so long to use, and let me show you. Hey, bro, Hella Charles. Hold up. Are you actually targeting the campfire over him? Hold up. No way. Hit him.
It doesn't hit him up there.
Wait a minute.
It doesn't hit him up there.
Can it not target him up there?
No.
Wait. Hold up.
It can't.
Can it not hit him up there?
No.
Is it only on ground floor? Did I just discover a new issue I didn't know existed?
Yeah.
Hold up. Hit him. Hit that. Can you hit that? Hold up. Can you hit that? I know that's in your range. Oh my God. It can only target things on the same level. Okay. Well, we just found out a new issue live while recording. So that's good. So I guess the range only extends this way. It does not extend this way, which I feel is a little bit bullshit, but we just found that.
But it did do that before they did the new update. But for some odd reason, I guess MiHoYoverse was like, yeah, let's just take that away from you guys. Yeah, that was real smart. Yeah. You guys don't need to aim up.
I guess if you want to counter,
you don't need your AIs to actually hit stuff above you. You know, you guys can just climb. Like, you know, you can just take bold characters out. Yeah, like, no. Let me attack, okay? Let my AI attack people that's above me, my guy.
Yae Miko, to all you Hella Charles watching, just stand on a fucking rock. Just stand on a fucking rock, and it'll be fine. All right, cool. Well, that's strange. Okay, that's so random. So here's the other issue, okay? So Yae Miko takes forever to do her setup, which, by the way, is just really...
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So, element skill, you know, tap, 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 you know, she's trying to, like, do a little hula dance or move through, I guess, a different dimension or whatever. It takes too long. Like, especially in Abyss, it hurts you drastically. There will be moments when you're tapping it, it feels like it's not coming out as fast enough. So you keep trying to tap it to make sure it goes out as fast as it can. But I sometimes this is just me. It's like it's buffering itself. Like, I know I'm tapping it at the right time, but instead it doesn't. And I'm like, can you just come out faster? But in all reality, I feel as though it's this. If they don't make it faster, make it immunity frame. Please make an immunity frame. Because, in all honesty, like, I literally made a video on this. I did. I like when I sat down and I talked about Yae Miko and I made a build for her and I published it on YouTube and everything. On my channel, Lo-Fi No. Okay, gotcha, Lo-Fi No. Yeah. Okay. I literally talked about this. She's too squishy. She can easily get killed. It's not that hard. She can't get away from enemies. Like, the moment you do, like, the whole element skill, I mean, like, the enemy can easily just put his foot down and be like, yeah, I want you to stop doing that. Or if an enemy just breathes on you, it stops you. Like, and then two, she loses so much health that it's... You want her to stay off the field. Or, like, you want to slap, like, a Zhongli or, like, a Diona. Because, frankly, just having a healer is not doing enough.
Really yucky. You want to cast her abilities to get off the field, but it takes too damn long. So I think MiHoYo's at the same time with Zhao's E, which is done, right? But instead, Yae Miko goes, and there's that weird...
So, did you guys see that? You see the different speed? I'm gonna roll it back. I'm gonna roll it back. What? Oh, shit. Okay. So, I'm gonna roll it back.
And also...
Hold on.
So I think MiHoYo's at the same time with
watch the speed,
E, which is done, right? But instead, Yae Miko goes,
boom. That delay, or I guess he did that. I think he did that.
And there's that weird delay.
If he didn't like wait a little bit, if he didn't, then like that's what I mean about like how it feels whenever I do it. I feel as though like there's like a buff delay to it.
I also think that she should have iframes while she's using her E. Another great thing is if they should implement a thing where if you just hold E, it casts all 3 turrets at the same time. Or makes a mega turret that can target 3 enemies. Or make a mega turret that attacks 3 times if you have.
Or they could to add on to his mega turn type of thing. How about you tell us whether or not it's level 1, 2, or 3, or 4? Can we know that? I don't know whether it's 2 or 3. I don't even know if it's, well, I can tell it's 1 when you slap it down, but how do you know when it's 2 and 3? Can we know that too, please?
All 3 charges when you do it, okay? Or here's another great idea. When you cast your ultimate, it doesn't remove your fucking towers, okay? But right now, the setup is way too long, and it makes her way worse. It makes her such a liability to use, because going E, 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 all, ba, 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 E, 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 then you go. It's like...
That's why I play her as a main DPS. Just makes it slim. Just make it easier on you. Play a main DPS and then like forget about it. But I will say in Abyss, it sucks even more because what he's saying is true. I mean, it's so slow that, to be honest, trying to use her like a main is even slower. Even when you're doing like the jump councils and all that, like it just hurts trying to use her in like high tier play. And not just that, but since she's electro, the electro capabilities of what we got so far is just not enough to really be like, yeah, I would rather replace like a hydro unit or a cryo unit to use with my fire unit type of thing. So yeah.
Holy fuck. Where is the time for the other characters? There is no way you design this character to be main DPS. There's no fucking way.
They didn't.
The other big issue with Yae Miko's ultimate is that if an enemy dies in the ult or moves, it doesn't follow them. It just someone say boom, 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 boom. Like if they move
just stay.
at all, it completely misses. Which I get it. A lot of other characters like Ayaka have the same issue. Where enemies could just fucking walk out, and it is the worst thing ever. But maybe we just make the application and the use a little bit faster, and maybe we just make the one hit deal more damage based on how many turrets are out, because it's a pretty ugly ult. Now that one is one I get if they don't change.
Or I feel like though they will not change it because of how he said it. I mean, what he said. Okay. For Ayaka, for example, enemies are able to walk out of it. Kazuha can have the same issue. I forgot all the other like AoE characters that's not Venti. But if they are gonna implement something like that to what he's saying, then they need to do it for all the characters. I would say instead of trying to do that for Yae Miko, just make it to where like if the enemies walk out, it just moves where there are. That's it. Like, that's what I believe. I do hate whenever I'm trying to use Yae Miko in Abyss and I'm going against, like, the dogs. Once I drop my element burst, they're like, yeah, you wanted to hit me with that? Let me just hit my move out the way. And that's it. Like, I get it. I wish they didn't do that, but they're probably not going to change that.
I get it, because then just run her at a freeze comp. That's what people told me for Ayaka. Just run her at a freeze comp and everything's fine. But if we do want to fix some of the intricacies of Yae Miko, I feel like just make the ability to do 60% more damage, 20% more per turret, and I feel like it's fine. You know? It would honestly make the game easier to code.
I don't know. I feel as though they should to... I feel as though her element skill element burst is fine on the damage. I want to say it's okay. I'm not going to say it's like to the point where I like it. I do agree to a certain degree. Yes, increase it. But more what I'm really asking for is to fix the kit. Change it up. Okay? Give it a little bit more. Like how they did for Zhongli, for example. They literally gave him HP for everything. Okay? How about instead... for Yae Miko, make it to where it scales with EM. I still don't understand. Like, can we just sit there and think about that real quick? Why in the world her passive? Okay, you gain more damage for your element skill, which her kit or her character revolves around using the element skill now. Talks about, hey, if you have EM, it increases the damage. How about make it to where it scales with EM or scales with attack? Like, why give us a dumb passive that has nothing to do with her kit? And I guess some people can make the argument saying like, oh well, just think about Ayato for example. At least you didn't get his passive where he just got dumb trees. I agree. They need to also fix that. I still don't understand why MiHoYoverse give you like random passives, which I can see why they do it. You know, like the climbing, the swimming. I get it because they're passives. They're not really supposed to be that big. They were like just added on, you know, to just be there. And so I get it. I get it. But in all reality, something like that, can we like, if you're gonna give a character that's gonna increase their damage per se because of it, how about you make it to where the character scales with that too? You know what I mean? Can we do that, please? You know, just
anyways, that way you don't have to do the triple hit. Just make the big explosion bigger. Okay, here's another thing. Her damage is overall underwhelming, and the reason why that is because Electro's a bad element. I don't know why we keep buffing Animo, because
that's why I say I can't fully agree with what I was saying about her damage is okay. I feel it's like above average. Okay, honestly, truly, it's above average, but they need to do something. In all reality, make it to where it crits with Overlord. Make it to where it crits when you're using Hydro. Why do we still have it to where they don't crit or don't do enough damage, bro? Like, I just... Why?
Animo is great. I don't know a single player in Genshin Impact who is still complaining about Animo. Why are we pretending that's a bad element? Electro is the worst. Animo is probably one of the best. Have you seen my fucking Kazuha? He's great, okay? So here's what I recommend we do. We either increase the scaling of Yae Miko's E, or we give the E slight AoE, okay? I feel like if the Electro Bolts would just target a little bit outside their range, it would give her more synergy for better characters. Like if you Kazu, or if you Venti, and you group them all together, and then the lightning bolts just hit the enemies that are just a little bit near them, I feel like that could make her a lot more viable. Hopefully, Geo isn't the worst element anymore. Geo's great. I think Geo's fine.
Yeah.
What's wrong with Geo? I mean, I would say Geo and Electro are the two weakest. But
I agree with that, but I guess what I kind of I don't want to say I disagree because I can still agree with it. I want something. I want more for Yae Miko, but just a small AoE. Like if I'm guessing what he's saying is like Ningguang's Constellation 1, okay? Which if anyone doesn't know, Litier Constellation 1 just says that her attacks do like a little bit more AoE, okay? It's not really gonna fix her problem. But I guess if you're talking about the burst, maybe. I don't know. I don't know. I feel like her burst just needs a little bit more than just a AoE increase in my eyes. But really deep down, anything, please just give her anything.
But I still feel like Electro's worse than Geo, in my opinion.
I agree with that.
Okay. So we talked about too much field time. We talked about damage being Electro. Each have slight AoE. Let's talk about another huge issue.
Oh, and to say a point on the Geo is fine. Geo, any character does good, but the issue is certain characters. Ningguang, for example. I have a problem with the fact that still sometimes her attacks do not target, for example. I still don't understand why I can't use certain Geo constructs in certain boss areas. Like, I'm just gonna say the Hydro boss still doesn't make sense. But hey, we're in like 2.6, but you know. But especially Ningguang's attacks. If you ever are using Ningguang against the giant Bleed Dog boss, especially if you play her in Abyss, it's garbage because certain attacks will not aim on at all. It's really, really bad, and that's hurting your damage capabilities. It's hurting your runtime, etc., etc., etc. So like, Those moments are right there is what I mean they need to fix per se or change or like explain like how this works. But other than that, yeah, I agree. Geo's fine. I mean, Geo's doing a lot best than Electro, 100%.
This is a personal issue that I have. So Yae Miko is one of my favorite characters aesthetically. I don't believe that she would wear underwear like this. I feel like Yae Miko is a little bit too much of a freak.
Agreed. Oh God.
I feel like her underwear should be more like Beto.
Agreed.
Something nice, something tasteful. I just feel like it would look better on her. I just don't believe that is the underwear that Yae Miko would choose.
Agreed. Agreed. Yeah. Give me some black lingerie, okay, or make it white. Don't care. Make it very appealing. Make it very sexy. 100% agree with you, Techie.
Mahal,
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Let's just slap her in a thong or something.
Agreed. Give me a bathing suit. We're thinking the same, Techie.
Issue with Yae Miko?
Yes, sir.
If you run Yae Miko in co-op, the turret limit is still 3. So you can only have 3 turrets in co-op, from what I've been told. Which, why in the fuck is that a thing? So that makes her pretty much unviable entirely in co-op. And you could say, well, just use a different character. But what if that's your favorite character, right? Like in co-op,
I'm gonna be real. I did not know that. I don't play co-op. Okay, I have no friends. Okay, I'm a solo player. Okay, we run everything ourselves, my boy. Like, co-op and Genshin is non-existent in my book. Maybe when they add something that makes me more enticing to play with people, but like until then, your boy just only gonna join people to grab stuff and like maybe steal some few things, rob a few joints, and then like call it a day. Co-op is not it.
There be more turrets. Like, what the fuck? It's so weird. Okay, turrets, E-charge, underwear looks stupid. I actually don't care. Okay, if you're unaware of what deadpan humor is, I apologize. I really don't care. E-slide AoE.
But I care. Okay, I want more sexy lingerie. Okay, I'm getting tired of seeing grandma looking underwear. I'm getting tired of seeing little kids. I want MILF category. Okay, I want woman category of dressing. Okay.
Damage underwhelming, too much field time, destroying totems in the alt is terrible, ult remains in the same area even when unit moves, becoming a flat damage dealer is inferior to old Miko, true, having to recast E 6 times is awful, and that's pretty much everything covered. Okay, let me know what y'all think with Yae Miko, but hopefully they just make this character just a little bit better and maybe run another rerun banner, because right now she's underwhelming as shit. And
I said that also in my video about the rerun banner. In all reality, I'm gonna, like, this is me personally. I feel as though if they do make a rerun banner for Yae Miko and they don't give us anything different, they don't change anything, there's no point. I feel as though there is literally no point in summoning for her. Literally, there's no point. There's so much more characters. There's better characters that does her job or adds more into the team than her. I get it that yes, Yae Miko is this dumb nut electro damage, okay, that just drops on the field, or you got like her turrets or her statues doing like the electro shocks, whatever. But in all reality, I mean, like, why do I need to use her if I can use Xingqiu? Why do I need to use her if I can use Zhang Ling? Why do I need to use her if I can just put on Albedo? Like, there's so many other characters that does her job a lot better, and it benefits the team a lot more. But again, why would I need a Yae Miko if I can just run Beidou? Official. Her character's not worth. I hate to say that as a person who really loves Yae Miko and has freaking leveled up her normal to 10, okay? It just got done recently making her freaking burst 9 and was really thinking about making it 10 from all her skills, but to be honest, it's not worth. I don't see no free to play person going for this. I don't see no point in going for constellations, none of that, because frankly her kit is not enough where she's at now. Okay, anyone, if you feel as though I'm just saying this because like I want that character to be buff, and like since I play her a ton a lot, then I feel as though like this is only helping me out. Whatever, I don't care what you think, but me personally, and a lot of people is thinking the same thing. What I'm thinking now, okay, she needs a buff. She needs something. Okay, like get on it, MiHoYo. Okay, give us something, please, because it's not it where she's at. It'll be different if, let's say, Yae Miko was Geo, because we all know Geo characters based attack alone, or I guess base damage, is always going to be high because they can't scale with anything, or my file. They can't combination with anything. So of course, but yeah, she's Electro, so like it's just a lot more sadder, man.
If the company was willing to make Zhongli go from pretty damn good to a absolute god due to player feedback, maybe we can get some love for Yae Miko as well. I mean, I'm sure we all agree that Yae Miko, or not even Yae Miko, but well, yes, Yae Miko and Genshin Impact have so many flaws, it's ridiculous. And considering that this company made $500 million off of iOS sales alone on the Raiden Shogun rerun banner. Yes, $500 million. By the way, that's enough money to fund every single anime produced in 2022 and almost 2020.
And just to add on to that, Xing Yang, for example, why is she still like her element skill not doing what it's supposed to do? Can like anyone tell me that? I'll wait. Yeah. Why is it not doing what it's supposed to do? I don't know, man. Another thing is why Amber still sucks. That's what I just don't understand. When you got all this money from all these people, okay, your company is doing good, okay, a lot of people playing your game, a lot of kids love your game, whatever my case may be. I mean, like, why you haven't fixed some of the problems that we had since day one? Why? I just don't understand that. I feel as though it's not that hard to a certain degree. Okay, we gave you enough time to be like, yeah, we'll get around to it, but to a certain degree, I mean, it's been a good bit. We're at 2.6, about to go to 3.0. I mean, like, you better
21. Okay, I
feel speed that
like
up.
maybe we can make the characters a little bit better when we know the company are making that much money. And the reason why I know that is because my wife worked for a major video game developer, and when characters need changes, they got them within a week. Doesn't cost that much money to rework a character and make them, make them fixed. It's really not that hard. You really don't need $500 million to do that. So, Hoyoverse, I appreciate you fixing your targeting. That's a great step. Thank you so much. Let's go back and fix the plethora of other issues that your game has, and let's get to the place where we all know it can be. I feel like it's a very easy solution, but that's just my opinion. That's just my theory. A game theory. If you
yeah. So, I think there's nothing more.
agree, cool.
He's just gonna do his
leave me
little
a
outro.
comment. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell button.
So yeah, I mean, I agree. Like, I agree with majority of what he's saying, and I hope fully they will do something like this, especially for Yae Miko. And not just that, I feel as though they need to do something for Catalyst users. In all honesty, we're in 2.6. I'm still waiting on a main DPS Catalyst. I'm still going to be preaching this, okay, even after this day. I'm still going to be saying, why the world do we not have a 5-star main DPS Catalyst? Don't say Klee. Dude, anyone who will see this, do not say Klee to me. Klee is literally not it. She's, for a 5-star, she's not it. The only two characters that do a good job at really being a main DPS is 4 stars. Young Fei, Ning Wong. Those are the only two that really show off being a main DPS Catalyst user. Give me a character that is a 5-star that does DPS as a main DPS as a Catalyst.